Hello, football fans, UFL fans. How you doing? Let's talk about the Week 3 winners, losers, and observations. First of all, the Birmingham Stallions are the best team in the league by far. It is not even close, in my opinion. And even though I still believe all the teams are like this, when it comes to talent, Birmingham under Skip Holtz, again, is executing better than anybody. They don't make mistakes. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. And despite the fact they got 2 new quarterbacks this year, with their first championship quarterback as their third string, Adrian Hernandez is starting to take over this team. And he's gotten better each week. And this weekend, he was pretty good. I really believe right now the Stallions are the best team. It's not even close. 2. The most disappointing team in my eye are the Memphis Showboats. I looked at this roster. I thought they were talented. I still think I had them playing the Birmingham Stallions in the USFL championship game. It can still happen, but right now I am not impressed with the Memphis Showboats. And they got a pretty good quarterback too. Case Cook is a good quarterback. We saw what he did in Philadelphia. But right now it hasn't translated that well because I don't think the Memphis offensive line is really playing that well. But yeah, the Memphis Showboats are my most disappointing team. 3, I think C.J. Johnson, the head coach of the Houston Roughnecks, should fire Garrett Char, the special teams coach. 3 weeks in a row now, they have had a punt block on them, and it has cost them 3 games. Yesterday's game against the Panthers on the road, the stats were even except for 2 things: the rushing yards and that 1 punt block. And that punt block led to a touchdown. All 3 special teams mistakes have been game changers, and they usually are. And if C.J. Johnson wants to coach next year, I think he better fire this guy. You can't be giving a punch 3 weeks in a row. So, you can't. 4, the coverage on ESPN and Fox continues to be very good. I love the transparency with the officials and the instant replay booth. The interviews on the sidelines can be a little bit annoying, but you'll get that and not like this in any other sport or any other league. The next thing, the attendance. Birmingham drew over 12,000 for the home opener. I had no idea that this week was the Alabama spring football game, scrimmage game with each other. Almost 90,000 people attended that for Coach DeBoer, the new coach. I didn't bother to look at it. It's unbelievable how these spring games have become a thing on TV now with college football. Tells you how much people like football. But almost 90,000 people, not too far away, Tuscaloosa, which is only which is under an hour away. I'm sure that had an impact on it. San Antonio drew over 11,000. That's about 1,000 less than they had at Easter Sunday. I was disappointed in that. Even though they had the second best attendance, it's still disappointing. Michigan has gone dwindling attendance the first 3 weeks, despite the fact they're 2-1. And it's concerning. Same thing with the who had the other game this week? San Antonio, Birmingham. Oh, Arlington. Arlington last year, despite the wacky job of scheduling they was consistently in the 12,000s. This game, they only had, I think, just over 8,000 people. I guess being 0-2 hurts, and right now 0-3 is not gonna bring more fans to the stands either. The good news is that they are playing the Houston Roughnecks next week, and the other thing is we do have two 0-3 teams. My point number 4. This is not good for the league. We got two of the Texas teams, Arlington and Houston, now 0-3. They'll play each other this week, I think. I'm pretty sure it's in Houston. Our first of the 3 Texas shootout games. So we only have one winless team left. And this is not what you want the league to be. You don't want one fan base. Well, I'm sorry, 2 fan bases right now, with the way attendance is, to be 0-3. Now tomorrow we'll find out what the ratings are. I still think the ratings will be solid. I'm hoping they're real good because this weekend we had no March Madness. The NBA and NHL playoffs don't start till this weekend coming up. So I'm hoping the ratings will be even better than the attendance. Alright, so that was 5 points I made so far. Do I have a 6th point? Oh yeah. The 4th and 12 onside play continues to be an awesome rule. We've seen 3 weeks in a row that 4th and 12 play keep teams in the ball games and see 3 pretty good comebacks in each of the 3 weeks. I love that rule. Some people say it should be 4th and 20. I'll go back to the old AAF rule of 4th and 15. I think 4th and 15 is the most I ever make it. I think 4 and 12 is good. Because you get people in different opinions, and that's fine. But the onside conversion is an awesome thing. Point number 7. The offensive lines continue to do pretty good in this league. And because they're doing good, the quarterback play is pretty good. E.J. Perry, who didn't have such a good year last year, is better this year. I wouldn't say he's great, but he's better this year. Ryan Stinnett of Houston, who had a terrible offensive line in San Antonio last year, is having a pretty good season so far with Houston. We've seen what Adrian Martinez has done. We've seen Jordan Ta'amu continue to play well. The offensive lines have been good. I've been saying, if this league is going to survive, they need strong offensive lines for the quarterbacks to look good. If they don't have that, good night. Good night to this league. I mean, one of the downfalls of XFL 2001, they only had 2 weeks of practice. The offensive lines were terrible. The quarterback play was terrible. They could never recover from it. And as a result, it lasted 1 year. The World League of American Football, backed by the NFL. When people say, league backed by the NFL, there's your experiment right there. The World League of American Football did the same thing. They only had short time of practice. The offensive lines didn't look good for the first few weeks. The quarterbacks, some of them didn't look good for the first few weeks as a result. The World League only lasted 2 seasons. They took a break. They brought back its NFL Europe League. That eventually stopped also. I think we're up to point number 9. The most talked about people in this league right now, believe it or not, are field goal kickers. Jake Bates continues to nail 50 and 60-yard field goals. Matt McCrane had 3 field goals, a 58-yarder, a 54-yarder, and a 49-yarder. And I'm surprised no one has picked up Matt McCrane because he was good for my New York Guardians back in 2020. He was great for my Commanders last year, and he's been great for, the Commanders, Defenders this year and last year. So, even though the quarterback play and the offensive line play has been real good, I think the two most talked about people are actually NFL kickers, but kickers, McCrane and Jake Bates continue to lead the way. And right now, we saw how bad the field goal kicking was last year in the NFL. I think Jake Bates has already been acquired by the Lions, and I will be shocked if no one calls Matt Crane this time next year. Just my opinion. I can't believe he wasn't picked up last year. And point number 10. We'll end at number 10. Point number 10. What can we say about 10? I love the consistency of the TV schedules. 2 games so far for first weeks on Saturday, 2 weeks on Sunday. And the times have been consistent. Either a noon or 1 p.m. game and a 3 or 4 p.m. game with a occasional night game. Well, we've had 2 night games so far on Saturday night. And that's where they belong. They belong Saturday night. So I think the schedule continues to be good. This week will be interesting, though. This week we're going to get a first taste of regional-only action. I think it's going to happen. I'm not sure if it's going to be the early game or the late game on Saturday. It's going to be the early game, I believe. Early game is going to be regional action, so we're not going to see all the games this week. We're gonna get 3 to 4 games depending where you live and which game you get. I am not a fan of this. I thing I loved about the AAF, the USFL, and the XFL Reloaded versions, we saw the games. That's something to look forward to. Something to look at this week. I'm not looking forward to that. And as a result, you'll have 3 games on Saturday and 1 early game, I think, on Sunday. So, I don't mind having 3 games on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. I just want to see all the games. We'll see how that goes this week. Let me know what you think. Who are the winners? Who are the losers? What are some good observations? Who are the most talked about athletes in this league right now? I mean, you have Jordan Ta'amu, of course, and AJ McCarron, the usual suspect like last year. You get throw the quarterbacks in, but so far, to me, the 2 most talked about guys are actually kickers. That's not a bad thing. Anyway, you all have a good night. We'll talk to you again on Friday about the Week 4 predictions. And, hey, go Spring Football League for the love of football.